Welcome to the podcast of the impossible. I'm Peter Wood, and today I'm chatting with a former Chilean who came to the U.S. at the age of 13. He's now a full-time American and a full-time magician. I'm talking about the one and only Paul Spring. And I switched the camera, and hey, here comes the music. It's coming out. Ready? Yep. That's what I get for having my buttons behind me. I should have, if I was smart, I would actually put the buttons in front of me, but I'm like reaching over. That's no good.
Well, here I am. Thank you for having me.
It's Chilean, right? As soon as I said that, I was second guessing, like, oh geez, wait, hang on, like
No, it's Chilean, and
okay.
I've never been mentioned as a former Chilean. I think I'm still Chilean. I'm still a citizen of Chile, but I am a proud American citizen, and I did. I had to swear that America comes first,
and I didn't.
Yeah,
like
didn't.
that. So
no, you were.
I think you're more American than I am by definition.
Yeah, I had to swear
because you tried for it.
If the shit hits the fan.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If Chile attacks America,
okay.
I'm sorry, Grandma and everyone else that's there.
Okay.
I'm an American now.
Nice.
I have to pick up.
I don't think that's going to be a concern anytime soon, but you never know.
No, I think we know better than to mess with America.
How often do you visit back in Chile? Or
I haven't.
Okay.
It's been 20 years.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't always an American citizen.
Okay.
And I also wasn't documented.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. No,
This is being recorded. No. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm safe now.
You're good now.
I can say it now.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. No, I was an undocumented immigrant for a long time.
Okay.
I did get married to a citizen, and that comes with some wonderful benefits.
Sure. Yeah.
The benefit is not you instantly become a citizen.
Okay.
You actually have to go through a process. You have to become a resident, and then wait a few more years, and then become a citizen. And then there are tests and thousands of dollars of lawyers,
right,
stuff like that. People think that when you marry an American citizen, you just there's a switch and you become a citizen. That's not how it works.
So what were the things that aside from not what are there other elements of citizenship that you didn't get from just being married, like other besides just being official card carrying? What was sort of your motivation for, like, I'm going to take this all the way, I'm going to do it full?
Well, as a citizen, I can vote.
Okay.
I can reap the benefits of Social Security, and I mean, if I have all the benefits, but a lot of people don't become citizens. They just
I guess I wouldn't
legal residents.
Right.
You can be a legal resident.
True. I wasn't thinking about like voting, but you could have been a legal resident, but not. Yeah.
You could be a legal resident and live here a happy, long life.
Okay.
Once you're a legal resident, you can't be deported, really. I mean,
sure.
But you do have to renovate every 10 years. So.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't want to do that either. My parents are now legal residents.
Oh, cool.
So
okay.
Thanks to my situation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell me, how did that come about, or how does that happen?
Well, I had to request them. So
okay.
You can request your parents if you're a citizen.
Okay.
I think I couldn't have requested them if I was a legal resident. So maybe.
Okay. So that's another benefit.
That's another big benefit, because my parents were not. Under any.
That's
they
so
want
cool.
to be citizens too. They really want to take it all the way. They want to be American citizens.
Sure.
They came here with that in mind. That was their goal, and it's been 20 years since we came. And
I mean, it's just so frustrating how messed up the whole system is, like,
and we don't have to get into all of that.
No,
we really don't. We really,
and it's also something that I don't really know. I'm not qualified to talk at all about it. So,
Okay. Neither am I. I did
more than I am,
live through it, and that was a big part of my life for many, many years.
Sure.
Even as I was, learning magic and performing, I couldn't have a license.
Oh, true.
To drive.
You don't have to have a license to perform magic, right?
Yeah.
I'm still unlicensed.
I can still.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I couldn't have a license to drive. Thankfully, I lived in the DC area, and for a lot of the birthday parties, I would take the bus.
Oh yeah. Okay,
or pay a friend before Uber. I would pay a friend to drive me places. But a lot of places I would get there by bus, and I would take
That's great.
a giant suitcase full of stuff.
Yeah.
And remember, I told you last episode, I had that agent. He would pick me up and he'd drop me off, and I was cheap labor back then for him.
I mean, nuts. But especially if that gives you the flight time, like if you, that gets you experience that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And so then now, by the time you are able to, drive yourself around and build that business, you've got all this experience to back it.
I learned a lot about the business.
Yeah.
I mean, so much. And I think I would have never face painted or really taken my entertainment as far as I have.
Sure.
One funny anecdote. My son now, he's not my biological son, this. I offered his mother to do his first birthday party for free.
Okay.
And it was in Lake Forest Mall.
Okay.
And I lived in Wheaton, and I didn't have anybody to drive me there.
Okay.
But I remember taking maybe 3 buses. It might be 3 buses because from Shady Grove.
Right. It's all Moco, but barely. I mean, it's
barely. Lake Forest is.
If
you're taking Metro at Shady Grove.
Yep.
So I took 3 buses to get there that morning.
Okay.
And I did a bowling ball out of a paper bag.
Okay.
So imagine me, the carts from Costco that pack flat, but they open up and they're like little dollies.
Yep, sure.
I had strapped 3 suitcases, one of them which had a bowling ball hidden inside,
right.
So I could perform this for this kid's, now my son, first birthday. And it went great.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think about that and I go, wow, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
And now he's my son, so I think it worked out.
I think, it was worth it.
Had I not brought a bowling ball on the bus that day, who knows where I would be?
No, it's, and I'm sure as a 1-year-old, he totally remembers it and appreciates it.
100%. I think I could have done without the bowling ball, to be honest.
I mean, I've done enough first birthday parties to know that it's not really about the first birthday recipient. Like it's a family party. That,
he was awake for all of it.
Okay, that's good.
It's a lot saying.
That's absolutely
first birthday. I've done a lot of those.
Yeah.
And half the time I don't see the kid.
That's cool.
Like, He's like with the coats laying down sleeping,
Right,
like have
exactly.
The coat check, and then they have the birthday boy.
Yeah. No, it is always strange. I mean, it's never happened too bad to me at a first birthday. I did have a weird event at an embassy one time for a 6-year-old where it was a lone 6-year-old and then a bunch of adults. And the adults did not want me to do any magic for them. They just kept wanting me to do it all for the 6-year-old, and they're just watching, and it was just such a strange, because now I'm having to use him for every trick. Like every volunteer is him again. And it also that means he doesn't get to sit and watch the show. Like he might enjoy seeing some family members be a part of it, but they were like, oh, no, it's for him. I'm like, but he can enjoy watching it too, and then that all went to, it finally unraveled when he wet his pants because he was just on stage when I say on stage, it was a backyard kind of thing. But the point is, he did not have an opportunity to not be in the spotlight. And unfortunately, he had an accident. And so then he gets whisked away. But then it was really funny because now I'm still here and I'm still on the clock. So now I started doing some stuff for the grownups and they were cool with it because the guest of honor is not here. And then when he came back in later, changed the pants, everything was much better after that because now it's like, okay, we're all, you guys understand that I can be here with you, not just for the kid, but yeah, it's always, I understand. I mean, I get it where the parent wants that child to be the center of attention, but you also have to read the room, right?
I recently had one where, it was mostly adults.
Okay.
Mostly adults, a couple babies, the birthday boy who was turning 2 or 3 and he was not having it. He was running around elsewhere. And my show is, I think it's, so here's the Great Zucchini.
Okay.
Here is you. And here's me leaning closer to the Great Zucchini.
Okay.
To be honest. I do a couple tricks where the adults are going to be amazed.
Okay.
And the rest of the tricks are hopefully the adults will find funny by seeing how much the kids are enjoying themselves.
Nice. Okay.
But they all played along. All the adults played along.
Awesome.
I said, say abracadabra. They all screamed abracadabra. And I was so happy about it because
that's cool.
It was a very, very small amount of little kids.
Right.
And I just plowed through.
I mean, and sometimes you have to be like, all right, I'm doing my thing. I hope you guys get on board with it. It'll be a lot less awkward if you do. So we're going, you know. Well, and so I teased the last time you were here about foam parties. That is your fourth pillar. You do magic and face painting and balloon artistry. And also, I mean, if you're not, you should follow Paul on Instagram. Like when I say artistry, like, you actually have some cool art. Like, there are a lot of people I know who get into magic and then are only pursuing balloons or face painting and I was one of them. Like I did 12 balloon animals ish, and it was just an upsell on top of when I was doing birthday party shows, but like you make some awesome stuff out of balloons, and also the face painting is fantastic. But I want to hear about the foam party sort of leg of your empire. Like, how did that come about?
Well, it's in vogue. A lot of people. True. So yeah. the way that I saw it was, I saw some people that were in very similar market than I was. Okay. Or even magicians. Okay. That were doing it, and just a couple good friends that were doing it, and I said, okay, I gotta look into this. Okay, this is curious. There's foam flying in the air. The kids look like they're having a ball. Right. And I just want to know what this is about.
Well, and so can you describe if someone has no idea what a foam party is?
Sure. It's imagine a pool party, but without the pool and a lot more fun. Okay. So if you know what a foam party is, period, you've probably seen it back in college or in Cancun, and they have the big foam machines hoisted from the ceiling, and it's coming down, and it's dark, and it's people are drowning. Sure. It's not that. We have foam cannons that shoot foam like 15-20 feet in the air, and we stack it up in anybody's backyard. We get a big giant mountain of foam, and the kids just run through it. We play music, throw beach balls, they dance, play, whatever they want to do. Yeah. And we just let them have at it. We haven't done games or anything like that. We just really, it's all about the foam, all about the music, and let them have a lot of fun. And it's been really good. It's been really good. I'm lucky that I got into it when I did. I didn't have any competition. I think now we're getting a few more that are doing what we're doing, and they're putting, they have nice websites, and they're doing all the SEO. And if it was somebody else that had a crappy machine and a crappy website, I'd be like, whatever. Right. But they're doing a really good job. They're branding at some point, and thankfully they're about an hour, maybe an hour and a half away. But I was doing a lot of business in Raleigh, and Durham, with a lot of daycares.
Sure. Now, was this pre-pandemic that you started foam, or what's the timetable?
2020.
Okay.
I bought my foam machine in September
of 2020. Okay.
2020, against my wife's wishes. Yeah, because what a great time to spend money when you don't have any.
I mean,
Do you know how many birthday parties I was doing?
Probably zero.
Yeah, and
September of 2020. Sure.
Yeah. So I told my wife, look, this is foam machine, it's only a few $1,000s. By the way, we're not rich by any means. So I bought the foam machine in 3 easy payments.
Okay, good. All right.
And I did 2 foam parties that year. 2 foam parties, but that was at the end of September, early October, and I had barely advertised it. Okay. So the next year we did 60 foam parties.
Nice. Okay.
Last year we did over 100. So I think it's worked out really well.
That's great. That's awesome.
Shout out to Christopher Weed, is the one that's been spearheading that. And kind of evangelizing the foam parties. And I believed in what he was selling at the moment. He we talked on the phone, and he told me all about it. I said, this sounds really good.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's something you and I were talking off mic earlier about. I love the idea of you being able to provide entertainment to a client in a variety of different flavors, so that whether, like, if they're having a carnival, they can reach out to you and you can bring the fun in a bunch of different ways, because you've got people who you work with who, you can have face painting and magic and balloons and foam all going on at the same time, hypothetically at the same event, or even,
I'd rather not.
Yeah, I mean, it's
but I have.
It's a busy day for you. Yeah. But then I guess even better, like the idea that you could do someone's event multiple times. Like you say, if you're doing a daycare or something, you come and you do your magic show, but then you come and do a foam party another time.
Yeah. Know? And actually what's worked out really well, I think, is I do a magic show 1 year.
Okay.
Or magic and balloon twisting, magic and face painting. And they'll hire me to do the same magic show a couple times.
Yeah.
Until they catch on that I have nothing else. They'll hire me for the same magic show because the kids forget, even the parents forget.
Sure.
They just want the same amount of fun they had last time. So sure. I do, a few different tricks.
Okay.
But eventually they say, what else you have?
Yeah.
And without having to change my magic show, I say foam parties.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. I've I don't want to have 5 different magic shows.
Okay.
I've gotten to, I know what I like, and if I see a new magic trick I like, I'll add it.
Okay.
I've become very focused on just the business part of it, I think.
Sure.
And I felt like that's where I needed to go. So I've been just seeing where I can take it next. I'm not, spending all my money on new magic tricks or the new different balloon print that they're selling.
Oh yeah, right, sure.
Especially now that I'm trying to treat it a little bit more like an agency, just a little bit.
Okay.
And send other people out.
Cool.
I have to send similar enough balloon artists. If I'm the only guy that buys the super cool, 3-foot alien balloon,
right,
and I show up and I do that, and then the next person says, I'm not gonna buy that for one game, just
right.
I just want them to do well enough with what they have, and I have like a standard-ish.
So it's a comparable. I mean, if they hire you 1 year and then they hire one of your colleagues the next year, they're going to be getting a similar experience,
Yeah, and as long as it's a good enough experience in the entertainment, and I provide the same good service on the back end where it's the booking, the communications, I hope that will make me the right choice for them year after year.
Yep. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'm the friendly guy behind the phone. Hey, how you doing?
Right,
How's everything? And hopefully that'll be enough. And same with, the foam parties. Hopefully that they'll trust me enough to come back and hire something else from me.
Sure.
But I found that with the foam, I've created a separate, this is separate brand, and it's stood on its own really well. And people,
nice.
I show up, they're like, oh, who are you?
Okay.
And then that's been interesting. And sometimes I tell them, oh, well, we do magic too. They're like, really?
Nice. Okay.
Fascinating, or sometimes, if we did well enough with our brands, they're like, oh, is this like a franchise? And who's your boss?
Oh, cool. Okay.
And it's me, and this is my son, and we do foam parties.
Awesome.
But a lot of times I do send other people to do it. That's been really a blessing. With the foam parties, I can send other people, and I do have a couple foam machines.
Okay.
So I can do bigger events, and the foam parties have really kind of opened my eyes to a different side of entertainment, right? Because magic, balloons, and face painting, it's more of a performance or a skill, a craft.
Okay, sure.
Right? And foam, not so much. I can train anybody
to
really do it, and sometimes trying to get them to realize that it is a little bit of a performance too,
Yeah, sure.
Like you have to smile, you have to smile at the client, you have to be friendly, And here, this is called a microphone. You have to say, hey, this is Rocks or Bubbles. Thank you for inviting us to your party. And they look at me like, I am not doing that.
Oh, no.
I am not doing that.
Right.
So that, especially my son. My son does not like to be
Your son's 13, right?
13.
Okay, yeah.
Or in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
Unless it's, playing a video game and he's with his friends. And actually, in that case, he looks a lot like what we're doing now. He's talking to his friends. He's like, and whatever he does.
You've got the gamer headphones on too.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, I'm cosplaying my son right now.
Yeah, nice. Well, yeah, and it is sort of. I mean, you're kind of like a ride operator, like the purpose, the foam party. You bring an attraction to an event, and then you operate it. And again, you have to operate it safely, and you have to be friendly, and you have to do the branding. But it is definitely, it's not. You're right. It's not the same level of showmanship. Even like making balloons is a skill, but they are still sort of like watching you do it.
Yeah. I haven't heard it compared to a ride operator. I might use that to tell them, hey, when you go to Disney and the person, there's a difference between when you go to the county fair and the kid behind the machine goes, all right, everybody, take a seat, buckle in, click.
Yeah.
Or when it's like, hey, welcome. We're, this is like a Disney ride. Sit down. Wow, are you excited? Okay.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Totally.
It's different experience there. So I might use that.
You can totally steal it. I don't have, I guess I should probably buy foam of theimpossible.com just to be on the safe side. I don't have any plans to start any foam parties in the area, but you never know. I don't
know. Maybe you should.
I know a guy who can tell me where to get some foam cannons.
Yeah,
so
I'm right here. Yeah, and you can anybody out there, you can have a pretty good business just doing that, and it's worked out really well. It's better than. Are people gonna get mad? It's like it's better than inflatables.
No,
the inflatable people are gonna come after me.
I don't think there's is there a big inflatable lobby? Is there like a inflatable mafia?
It's like the NRA, but for inflatables.
Right. And also, we should clarify for folks outside of showbiz. Inflatables, we mean like a moon bounce, like a bounce house, a big inflatable thing that you rent.
What else could we be talking about? Hot air balloons.
Or like
balloon people. This is better than.
Balloons are inflatables. Like,
they are.
But that's balloon twisting, not inflatables like a thing you stick a fan onto.
Right. So I think it's been a really really good addition to what we do. It was different. It was different. Getting used to hauling around hoses and extension cords and not being the center of attention and just
right.
You know what? The first few, I probably hogged that microphone a little bit more than I should have.
Interesting.
And people were like, "Why is this guy talking to us so much?"
Yeah.
They were like, "Just let us enjoy the foam."
Right.
Man.
Right. That's funny. Yeah. No, it's but that's another learning thing that you figured out, and well, this has been awesome, and we should do it again. But we're going to have to wrap it up for this episode of the podcast, The Impossible.
All right. Thanks for having me.
If you want to have Paul come to your event, Paul goes worldwide with his foam parties. For the right price, right? Sure.
Right. If it's checked baggage or
can you put your foam cannon in the overhead?
I think it's carry-on.
It is. I think,
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see. Just don't call it a cannon, and you'll be fine.
This is my vape.
Yeah. As long as there are no lithium batteries in it, you'll be good. But for more about all Paul's adventures, the best website for it is birthdaypartyrockstar.com, and that's your main stuff. But that's a good way to sort of a gateway for people to be able to find all the different things you do. And then also, Birthday Party Rockstar is the social media handle to use as well there. And that is going to do it for this episode of the podcast of The Impossible. But to support my Museum of the Impossible project, as well as finding out more about all my public shows and social media and more, you can head on over to oftheimpossible.com. I'm Peter Wood. Thanks.